coming from Los Angeles. I'm a coastal elite now. I have to do sets there that are 2 minutes long. And now I get to do 30. You know, and the last time everyone expected me to do 2 and I did 30. My girlfriend was very excited. Told her not to get her hopes up. Once a year type of deal. No, it's good to be back in Indiana. It's nice to be in a place where I can walk around with my mouth open. Really blend in. They think it's weird out there. To be walking without a purpose with so much joy. I hate joy. It's nice. I like where I live in LA. The only thing I don't like is people when they find out I'm from Indiana in LA, they always ask, they're like, does Indiana have a legal weed yet? No. We just got tequila. That was a big day. We finally make margaritas. We were using milk before that. Curdle. I like being from Indiana for one big reason, and it's that anytime there's like nuclear war in the news, I'm never worried. Because no one's aiming for Indiana. You know, no one's ever been in their war room like LA, DC, Bedford. Gotta take care of those guys. You know, the only way we're getting hit is if a Proud Boy gets his hands on the nuclear football. And he hits us thinking he's gonna hit India. Call that Christopher Columbus. I don't know. I think it's shitty because if nuclear war did break out, I would find out about it from an infographic made on Canva. That pisses me off. I don't know. I don't think people use infographics responsibly. They just post them to their story without any consideration for what came before or after on that story. It'll just be an infographic like, here's an atrocity. And then the next slide is like, shot, 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 shot. Happy birthday, Bryce. It's kind of like when you're at like a Walmart or a Sam's Club and you're on your way out and there's that cork board up. And it's like, missing child. Missing child. Employee of the month. So now I don't know who to look for. My body shouldn't be in Los Angeles. One, two, three. Get all of it. Like when I was born, somebody should just put a bay of hail. A hail of and let me chuck it. I had nuts and cheese for dinner tonight. Like a wealthy squirrel. But I did it because I'm a poor man. I'm a fat vegetarian, which means I belong to a club. We meet once a month. It's called What? How? No, I've been vegetarian for 13 years now. But thank you very much. It's very easy to do. I'm on a diet where I just eat one peanut butter sandwich a day and an entire 30 rack of beers. Very easy to stay trim. Anyone ever had a shower beer? I like them because it means I can pee in the shower and remain totally neutral. No new pee. I've never had to buy a belt. I've always just been perfectly fat. Just a thought. I'm not wearing one right now. Anytime the pants stop fitting, I have an extra snack. Keep it there. I moved to Los Angeles in turmoil. Right before I left, I broke my girlfriend's couch. Just by sitting. There wasn't even an inertia involved. It just gave out underneath me like a tired old coal miner. That worked too hard for too long. You know the fucked up thing is it broke while I was eating Sun Chips. Which means if I'd eaten one less Sun Chip, she'd probably still have a couch. I get allergies in the summertime, which is an inopportune time. I'm part of an exclusive club. It's called the Sam's Club. It's me and a few of my buddies from back home. And so I buy my tissues in bulk. And I'm always worried that they're going to think that I masturbate enough to buy in bulk. So what I like to do is I like to drink them. I put on a little sick voice, and I go, I masturbate a lot. Before I get to the rest of what I had prepared, I got to talk about something that pissed me off today. There's a member of Boy in the Bubble. Not just a member, a co-president of Boy in the Bubble, named Simon Mayer. I arrived at Simon Mayer's house, and I said, I'll be a good boy. I'll buy a sandwich for him and for his roommate Jack. They're letting me hang out there. So I used my money to purchase a sandwich. The number 5 veto specified on French bread. What else you get. I get the Jimmy John's delivered to their house with the understanding that Simon would return to his house. Simon, when the sandwich arrived, I text Simon, giddy as could be. I said, yippee, Simon. A sandwich has arrived. And Simon said, bring it to me. So I had to deliver the delivered sandwich to Simon's party. He was too busy playing beer die to accept a treat. Now that that's off my chest, I've had 12 concussions. Which is 11 more than they want you to have. Every doctor recommends 1. So you never make that mistake again. But I had 12. I think my favorite concussion was while I was cooking, I sneezed into an open cabinet. And I knocked myself out. I woke up a few minutes later like, my paella. It was too late for the paella. It had runneth over. Familiar with the Bible? In my mind, Pulp Fiction and the Bible are the same. Because I haven't finished either of them. And when I tell people that, they get mad at me. Both also have a lot of feet. Hey Jesus, here's a miracle freak. Why don't you go 15 minutes without getting your hands on someone's dog? Foul. I don't know. I'm not the smartest guy in the room. You know, I'm probably top 20, but you know, pre-concussions, I wasn't like a superstar. You know? Like, no one was ever like, this kid's gonna be president someday. They were like, get that kid away from scissors. I couldn't use them till high school. I had to bite the paper. So there goes Joey Paperlips again. I had an Indiana education, which is an oxymoron. They didn't do shit. Has anyone heard of sock humping? I'm asking for real. Has anyone heard of the act of sock humping? I knew they made it up. For a period of time when Nike Elites were in fashion, the dark ages, there was a group of guys that used to follow me around and pull my socks down. And then when I leaned down to roll them up, that went on for months. I could have worn shorter socks. often I think about the bravery of that first guy. Because imagine if it hadn't caught on. I'd just be like, hey, Alan, remember when you humped Joey Pinklewitz? Classes, I really respect all the educators I had, except for one guy. It was history class in 7th grade, and we were learning about the feudal Japan unit. It was the feudal Japan unit, and for that unit, he just put on the movie The Last Samurai with Tom Cruise. And then when it was over, he was like, right? No questions? I'm not the smartest. I had a 1.8 GPA my first semester here, followed by a 1.4 GPA my second semester. And it was because I was a journalism student. Yeah. Most of the assignments were like, hey, go bother those people that are having a good time. I didn't want to do that. I debated telling this story because I don't know the statute of limitations on this, but I made up every story I wrote for class, every single one. I made all of them up. Fake people, fake event, fake me. I lied. And they caught me. They're journalists. It's their job. I got called into the office of the head of the program, and he was like, we're going to have a meeting with the dean on Friday, and I mean, I think chances are good that you're going to get expelled. Like, this is, you can't do this, you know, you're going to be a journalist. And I was like, fucked up over it, you know. And I left, I was shaking and everything, and I had to go do a radio show afterwards. It was called Stick Talk. And it was on the A side of the radio station. It consisted of games like Francophone, where we would all make noise for 20 minutes. And then someone would go, that was the sound of a lightning bolt. People were driving listening to that. I'm sitting in that radio show, I'm shaking. I'm going to be expelled on Friday. It's about to be spring break. I was very excited for spring break. But now I'm not. Friday's the day, my day with the executioner. As I'm making noises, in the 20-minute period, all of us get an email from Michael McRobbie, the former president of Indiana University. School was canceled because of COVID-19. I never brought it up to anybody. They all forgot. Thanks, COVID. I'm glad to be here. I was so excited to get that email. Everything else had happened. I wish COVID-19 never happened. For most of people, except for me. I don't know. Freshman year was fun. That was 4 years ago. I feel ancient, you know, seeing all you with you This night, I met the coolest guy ever. I was running around with a group of guys, and we were doing that thing where like 18-year-old guys, what they do when they're hanging out with new guys, is we were doing tricks to impress each other. My trick was hanging out, I was doing great. One of the guys is like, hey, you want to see me jump that bush? And I was like, hell yeah, I want to see you do that. He gets about 2 steps in, and I realize his trick is not jumping bushes. He jumps, his foot catches on the bush. If you don't like any talk of blood, cover your ears, because he hit his head and I had to be like Jackie Kennedy. What are the other guys' trick? Was knowing a medical student. So I quickly abandoned hanging out. And I went with my other trick, just being big. Pick this dude up. And I carry him to this guy's house, this medical student's house. And he opens the door. The guy is fully shirtless, glistening with sweat. Long day of studying, I think. Med school's hard. Harder than journalism. I carry him in, deposit him on the ground. And by golly, the medical student starts to stitch this kid up. As he's doing it, door opens to the back of the house, and there's a fully naked woman. She opens the door, lets us drink the moment in, looks at the medical student and goes, hey, is this going to take much longer? And he goes, I'll be back in a minute, baby. Finishes stitching the kid's head open. That's the coolest guy ever. I couldn't believe it. He was mid-coitus, and the red phone rang. He picked it up and he saved the boy's life. Incredible. I never saw any of them again. I think a dream. Another one of my tricks. My imagination. I wanted to take a quick moment. This I remember. Sarah Wharf of Boy in the Bubble. I don't know if you guys know Sarah Wharf. Sarah Wharf is not here tonight, but Sarah Wharf is trying to go to London over the summer to study abroad. Not sure which broad, I'm just kidding. So she's studying abroad, she's raising money for it, so please check out Sarah's Instagram, and if you can, donate to her GoFundMe. Yes,
We'll put it on the bubble page as well.
it will be on the bubble page as well. If you can believe it. I can't imagination. But Sarah Wharf is raising money, so if you can donate to that, that'd be fantastic. And I thought in honor of that, I've never told this story on stage before, but I went to London when I was in high school to merry old England and to merry old England, and I was having a blast. And we were about to go to Paris. It was part of a theater trip. So imagine all the worst people abroad. And we were getting the train. They called them that there. I asked. Double checked. They're still called trains. And it's the one that goes under the ocean. Oh my God. And when we got to the train station, they go, oi, blimey. Your train's been delayed. And I was like, shoot. And so we had some time to kill. And one person suggested we go to Hyde Park. Beautiful Hyde Park with swans and swan boats. It's beautiful. And I said, let's do it. We have time to kill. And in the middle of Hyde Park is a gigantic lake, large lake. And so we're there, we're having fun, and I see a small thing run past me, and it was an untethered pug. Loose and fast. And only gaining speed by the second. The pug, with aplomb and grace, launched himself into the lake. They're already bad at breathing. They're even worse underwater. The pug tries to climb out. Splish splash time was over. And it encounters a very slippery slope. So the pug begins to have some trouble. I see this, and I go, I'm American. I can fix this. And I go, and the pug's wearing a little collar, and I grab the pug by the collar, and I pull him to safety. And to thank me, he jumps back in the water. I go, I've done this once. What harm is twice? I go back over, I go to pick the pug up by the collar, and I encounter the same difficulty the pug encountered. A very slippery slope. And I rocket into the water. I grab the pug by the butt. And I throw it like an American. Up to safety. This time, the owner comes over, tethers the pug. But there's no human to save me. So I struggle out of the pond. I had on me my phone, my passport. I should have said passport.